this is Lucy. Thank you for joining us this morning, Lucy. And you know, all jokes aside, we can already smell this food. And it smells awesome. And also looks like something perfect for weeknights.
Yes, I thought that it would be really something good to share. We're going to do pulled pork, so we're doing a Boston butt, and we're going to do it in the Instapot. But of course, you could use your crock pot. And I thought a lot of people would be, you know, using their smokers, using their grills this weekend. With the long weekend, we have an amazing Labor Day ad that broke Wednesday. And a lot of people are going to be doing their shopping today, you know, and through the weekend. So I thought that, you know, not everybody wants to get out and spend the time on their smoker. Maybe they don't know how, maybe they don't have one. So we can get, you know, that same pulled pork by, and only in an hour and a half. Instead of like 8 hours when you're smoking on your smoker. So I thought we would talk about that today and share this recipe.
That'd be perfect. Yeah, I know. I've never cooked pulled pork before because I stay as far away from grills as possible. So I never actually thought that I could make it that way. So it's nice to see that.
Yeah, and I do not like to grill and I do not like to smoke. My husband does that. Have zero skills with that. So it's nice to eat everything off of the grill and the smoker, but it's definitely not my forte either. So we're going to start with our dry rub, and most of the stuff you'll just have in your pantry. So I started with 5 tablespoons of brown sugar, and I also have onion powder, ground mustard, black pepper, garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder if I didn't say that, and some chili powder. So we're gonna just mix this together. And one tip, when we're gonna just reserve 2 tablespoons of this, and once our pork is cooked and after we shred it up, we're gonna sprinkle the remaining 2 tablespoons over it once it's cooked, and it's just gonna just give it a little, you know, more flavor once it's done. So what I have here is I bought, it's about 4 pounds. And it'll be cut, you know, a big Boston butt is 8 or 9 up to 10 pounds, and it's really big. So they'll have that, of course, in the store, but also we cut some up as well. So it's really half of a Boston butt. And so it may have a bone in it or it may not. This one does, but you just want to cut it up into about 4 pieces so we can saute it in here. So that's what I've already done. So what I'm going to do now is just reserve a couple tablespoons, like I said, and just get this rubbed down.
Perfect. And like I said, you can already smell it. Kind of just has like that sweet smell to it. And especially if you're looking for something for Labor Day, that's typically when we start to see the pulled pork, the barbecue brought out. This seems like the perfect recipe for that, especially easy. You said only an hour and a half.
Yes, because we're going to use our Instapot, so we're going to just saute it with the saute function and then just put it in there for an hour and 20 minutes and it'll be ready to go. You can make nachos, you can, you know, make barbecue mac and cheese, you can just eat it on sandwiches. So once you have it, you can do anything with it.
So many different options. And so when we come back with Joe, what are you going to do?
Okay, we're going to start sauteing this and then getting it in browned, and then we'll talk about what else we're going to put in here.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you.
Don't want to miss this recipe again. Great for Labor Day. If you want to go ahead and get into that last summer weekend of spirit. Joe.
Welcome back into the kitchen with Lucy from Greer's Markets. We are working on a fun recipe today. What a great idea you have for those who don't like to get on the grill or get out the smoker.
Yeah, we're doing pulled pork today, and we're using our Instapot, but I also said that you could use your crock pot, of course, or your smoker. So if you do like to smoke, then you could use the same rub recipe and, you know, throw it on your smoker. So what we did already is we mixed up our spice rub and we reserved a couple tablespoons so we can sprinkle it on after our meat cooks. And I have our Instapot going. I had it on the saute function. I added a couple tablespoons of olive oil or vegetable oil, whatever you'd like to use. And we were just browning the pieces of pork. And I'm just going to pull this last one out now.
It's a big hunk of meat.
It is, yeah. This one I was mentioning. This is, we'll have in the stores Boston butt, you know, cut into smaller packages. So this was a half of one, which is around 4 or 4.5 pounds. And this had the bone in it still. So I was trying to cut around the bone, but just cut it into several big chunks so that way you can brown it in here. So I did that.
It's like when a cartoon character eats a big old turkey leg and they pull it off.
Yeah, that'll be your piece. Just kidding. It'll all be shredded up.
Yes.
So now we just have to add a few more things. So I have my wooden spoon because there's a lot of brown bits on the bottom of our pan. So I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar and start trying to loosen some of this up. And I will say, you want to be careful when you are browning this, because we do have a lot of brown sugar in there, and of course the sugar will burn easily. So just keep an eye on it. So
yeah, because then it
turn back
could
on.
coat the bottom of the pan. So you want to keep an eye on that. But that apple cider vinegar and that brown sugar, and then you've got a little liquid smoke too, Worcestershire, that's all adding to those flavors that are in there.
Yes, and I'm always pretty hesitant to use liquid smoke. You know,
Yeah.
it's really easy
I know
to,
a lot of people are, yeah.
yeah, go overboard, but I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and give this a shot. So this recipe calls for 3/4 of a teaspoon. So that is not going to give your meat that fake, you know, smoky taste that perhaps you've had sometimes when you've had liquid smoke. It's just a very subtle smoky. So you can always add more, but this calls for 3/4 of a teaspoon.
It's the perfect thing to add to this recipe, because
Yeah.
if you're not smoking, it's going to enhance and give it some of that smoky-like flavor. But yeah, the trick is to just be cautious of the amount that you use, and don't drink the bottle of liquid
Yeah,
smoke.
don't. Yeah,
That's
you don't
not
even
the-
want to taste it. I tasted it, and just on its own is, you know, not good. So I'm just gonna finish loosening this up, and I'm also going to add a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and then that 3/4 teaspoon of liquid smoke, and then the last ingredient is just a cup of chicken broth, just to give it some liquid in there, and then we're just gonna pop this back in. And it's only gonna take an hour and 20 minutes
Nice.
to be able to shred it.
Yeah, good thing to add some moisture in there so it's not super dry.
Yeah.
You get that pulled pork tenderness, the smokiness. It's all coming together. It's a good day to be here on Studio 10. Lucy will check in with you in just a little bit.
All right.
Jen.
Welcome back to Studio 10. We are finishing up in the kitchen here with Lucy Greer, finishing this Instant Pot pulled pork.
Yes, we have mixed up our spice rub, and we rubbed down our 4-pound Boston butt, and we sauteed it, and now we are putting this back in there. We added a little bit of chicken broth and some apple cider vinegar and some Worcestershire and a little bit of liquid smoke, and now we're just gonna wedge it in there the best you can, and an hour and 20 minutes, and it'll be easily shred like you know, smoked it for 8 or 10 hours. So.
And then you just take out the bone after that point?
Yep, it'll come right across, and you can just discard any extra fat. And the great thing is, you know, it makes a ton, and you can do anything with it. Make tacos or nachos or just sandwiches. So it's a really good way to feed a crowd, whether you're watching football or, you know, whatever you're doing.
Exactly,
So,
I
it's ready to
know.
go.
We have so much football this weekend.
Yes.
We have the holiday this weekend. And so it definitely seems like a crowd pleaser. I can tell you it smells delicious. I got to ask though, what kind of barbecue sauce did you put on that?
That's funny. My husband is from Dothan, and he and his sister still have a barbecue restaurant there that their dad opened called Pig Out. It's on 231. So if anybody is going through Dothan, well, we wouldn't if you're coming from Montgomery, but they have a barbecue restaurant there. So it's Pig Out Barbecue. So
love
it's
it.
really, so we had some in the fridge, so that's what it is.
Some Alabama local barbecue.
Yeah.
Well, maybe someone is trying to plan what they're doing for Labor Day. I mean, you got 3 days to fill. I understand you guys have some other specials going on.
We do, and the meat department always does an amazing job, you know, every day, but especially for big holiday weekends, because Labor Day is such a big grilling holiday. So again, we have the Boston Butts on sale. We have an amazing deal on chicken wings. The list goes on, and I did want to mention that if you don't have time to shop, you can always put your order in online, and you can get it delivered, or we can pick it for you, and all the ad prices are also online as well. So you don't have to go in the store to get those special deals, but it's always a good time too. If you're traveling, you know, you might hit a Greer's that you haven't been to before, like Dauphin Island or, you know, Robertsdale, or if you're going to Florida, we have 2 stores in Pensacola. So we'd love for you to stop in and see us.
Exactly. You can go check out that downtown location. I always love going there.
I know, you're so sweet to come.
I know. I love that one, especially. I mean, you can get a glass of wine or a beer, walk around, do your shopping. So really, just take it easy.
And in that store, we're gonna have all the football games playing this weekend. So we are just putting a new TV upstairs on the rooftop. So we'll have the games up there, and then of course downstairs too. We'll have all the games on. So 5 TVs total. So
see, there you go. All your game day stuff is just set there. I mean, there's food for everyone when you go there. You can get the beer, you can get the wine. That sounds like a perfect place to head out this weekend. Thank you so much,
Thank
Lucy.
you.
And again, you can always watch it and rewatch this recipe, cook it for yourself on our website, fox10tv.com, and also head on over to Greer's to get the ingredients for that. Thank you so much, Lucy.
Thank you.
Joe?